máa ń dá sí tẹ́ máa ń kọ́ wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ńbẹ̀. Wọ́n lọ́kàn nínú àwọn olórin gbajúgbajà tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ wọ́n fi jẹ eléré ọmọ ọba nílùú wọn. Ẹni tí wọ́n fi jẹ eléré ọmọ ọba yìí mùsùlùmí ni ìsìnsì Islam kódò lásàlátù. Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tó jẹ́ olórí ọmọ ọba yìí ó ti wọ̀ pé bí báyìí gbogbo ètò táwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe sì máa ń ṣe ní í ṣe. Ìbéèrè méjì náà wá yọ ńbẹ̀. Wọ́n lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ní pé ẹni yìí ǹjẹ́ ó ti jáde kó nínú Islam àbó sì wà nínú Islam sáàjọ́ sẹ̀sìn náà ni. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì ńbẹ̀ ni pé ǹjẹ́ tó bá kú sáàkìhùn sí i la gẹ́gẹ́ bí mùsùlùmí ara wa àbá ṣe fìdáwò fún nígbà tó bá papòdà. Ìbéèrè náà nù ní sà.
Ẹnìkan ló béèrè.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà.
Ìbéèrè yìí máa lágbára púpọ̀. Àmọ́ ìdáhùn rẹ̀ á dáhùn rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú bí Ọlọ́run ti fún wa mà àti bá a ti máa ma kí Olúwa kí ó tó fi mà wá jù báyìí lọ. Mo ti sọ̀rọ̀ kẹ́ńdù ní wípé àṣírìkù méjì ní ń bẹ àṣírìkù lẹ̀ ákádì lẹ̀ ẹ̀tẹ̀kọ́dì wà ṣírìkù lẹ̀ àmàlí. Àṣírìkù lẹ̀ ákádì òun ni kí àṣírìkù lẹ̀ àmàlí òun ni kí yọ̀ọ́ má ṣe ìsìlámù rárá wọ́n má gbà pé Ọlọ́run ọba yìí ń bẹ wọ́n má gbà ìsìlámù rárá wọ́n má ṣẹbọ wọ́n má ṣe òòṣà àṣírìkù lẹ̀ àmàlí nù. Àmà àṣírìkù lẹ̀ ákádì alẹ́ ẹ̀tẹ̀kọ́dì ibi àkídà ó ti ń sin lọ́hùn ó jẹ́ mùsùlùmí àmọ́ tún wà nǹkan míì fún Ọlọ́run lọ́tọ̀ ó tún máa pé nǹkan míì tó ń bẹ wọ́n yẹ pé bóun bá nídìí bùkátà ọ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ mọ̀ wá bùkátà lọ tọ́lọ́hún lè pé bóun ọkàn sin lọ́hùn gẹ́gẹ́ bí àṣẹ tọ́lọ́hún pa wọn pé ẹ̀sìn fa'buduni ẹ̀sìn mi náà ṣíríkù àmàlí òun ni Olúwa sọ wípé ẹni yóò láyé tó bá ṣe nǹkan mi wàlá gẹ́gẹ́ gan ya'buduna min dunillah ó ti yé báwọn ẹ má ṣe wọ́n ṣe nǹkan ẹni tí bá ń ṣe nǹkan mi man ya'budu min dunillah ẹni tí bá ń ṣe nǹkan mi lẹ́yìn Ọlọ́run ṣírùkù àmàlí ló ṣe àmọ́ amma man yad'u ghayra Allah ẹni tí yad'u ma'a Allahi ilahan akhar ẹni tó jẹ́ pé ọmọ Ọlọ́run ẹsẹ̀ ń ṣe lọ́hùn ẹsẹ̀ ń pè Ọlọ́run àmọ́ tí nǹkan bá ti dé bá yóò wá pé nǹkan mi ní lẹ́yìn Ọlọ́run ẹni bá wọn ṣe Islam Ànábì Muhammad sọ pé Ọlọ́run sọ nù àdéhùn kò sí pé mani amala amalan ashraka bi kíní kan taraktuhu wa amalahu aw kama qala mùsùlùmí ni bẹ́ẹ̀ ti wí lóòótọ́ ó sì kọ́dà ó kọ́ rẹ̀ ọdún kọ́ mi.
Ó tún lásàlátù bí yín báyìí.
Ó tún wá ní àsàlátù báyìí náà bíi tiwa orúkọ rẹ̀ ń jó kọ́ mi ó tún wá lásàlátù bíi tèmi náà. Àmọ́ bí àsàlátù lè gẹ́gẹ́ bíi àsálẹ́ ẹ̀sìn òpé á má sọ̀rọ̀ ran ẹ̀sìn òpé á má sọ̀rọ̀ lé ó mú ń tọ̀ ń tún lọ lè wọ ìpẹ̀bí. Èmi náà rí kọ́dà àwọn èèyàn wọlé lè bá tí wọ́n lè gbàdúrà lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ ẹlòmíín bẹ̀rẹ̀ kan lẹ́ wájú rẹ̀ ní tí mi kẹ́ni lé wọn lé báyìí. Ó ti jáde kú nù Islam kò sínú Islam ma ẹni yẹn ti jáde kú nínú kíni
Islam.
Ó ti jáde kú nínú Islam tó bá fẹ́ padà sí Islam gan àbí kó ẹsẹ̀ wẹ́ kó wá fi èyí tí ń ṣe òun lẹ̀ kó lóun túbà òun ò ṣe é má. Àmọ́ bẹ́ni náà bá jáde tó bá tún padà sí mọ́sálásí tó padà sí àsàlátù rẹ̀ ká má jẹ́ ọjọ́ wa lójú gbogbo ọ̀nà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àmúlùmọ́là náà ni ìsìláàmù ti ń bẹ́ mbẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ èyí wòye ṣe yí báwa àfọwọ́sẹ̀sẹ̀ tó máa wá pé a tún gbé kọ̀díyà kan jáde ní orí rẹ̀ kò sí ìsìláàmù gidi náà ilẹ̀ yìí náà ló pé bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ń bọ̀ láti ilẹ̀ haúsá lọ́hùn bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti dé ìyá yìí náà ní ìsìláàmù pé ọba ti kú orí ìyá yìí gbogbo yòókù àmúlùmọ́là ni àwọn àfáà tí ń sìn bẹ́ẹ̀ sírísímà ni wọ́n ò tó nǹkan àwọn ẹlẹ́bọ olóòṣà olóró yìí wọ́n ju àwọn àfáà lọ kò jẹ́ kí àwọn àfáà ò lè kò jẹ́ ni wọ́n lè fi gbogbo ara ṣe iṣẹ́ dé ojú àmì rẹ̀ kí ọ̀bá ni máa dá wàhálà lẹ̀ àwa fi àwọn àfáà tí ń bẹ láwọn ìlú ọ̀hún a fi wọ́n wé àwọn mùsùlùmí tí ń bẹ ní ìlú kèfèrí tó jẹ́ pé wọn ò lè napa Islam wọn dáadáa wọn ò ní tazọ́rùfù tá mà lérí Islam wọn. náà wípé Ọlọ́run kò fi máa ọ̀nà gidi tààrà kò sí ọ̀nà gidi ní Ọlọ́run kò fi máa ọ̀nà gidi tààrà lẹ́gẹ̀rì rẹ̀ tọrọ wà nù ẹgbẹ́ wà nù kankan ijó kú tí ọ̀wá sáláwo kan abónímúlẹ̀ kan abólòrò kan tọ́yọjú wípé àwọn gẹ̀rì ìbàgún òun ògbégún rí wọ́n lè máa gbé ndílé wọn ká sì lè lọ nígbà wọn bá pè wọn torí báwa bá bá láwọn ọlọ́kọ́ mọ̀ tó di pé wọ́n tún máa bá wọn àfáàjà àmọ́ ìkírun sí la àti lọ́bi fìdáwù rẹ̀ la yughni anhu minallahi shay'an kò ní nǹkan kan sí wọn bá kírun sí la wọn bá gbé sínú sàré àwọn àfọwọ́ bá ṣàdúrà fún tọ́ba ti lọ bá a kú bẹ́ẹ̀ ntí ọba ní ọba lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run fún ìbéèrè eléyìí òun.
fẹ́ni tí ń béèrè méjèèjì náà ti yẹ báwọn pé ó ti jáde kó lọ sí la tó bá sì kú
ó sì àyè
sí la.
kí ló pé.
àwọn olórin bí ẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ táwọn wọ pèpè lọ́dẹ pé níbalẹ̀ fún kí sàdúrà fún wọn kí ni ìdájọ́ tí wọ́n.
àwọn olórin ẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ tí wọ́n kọ́ pèpè táwọn náà lè fẹ́rí balẹ̀ fún gbogbo wọn ti di bákan náà ẹni wọn bá ti fẹ́rí kalẹ̀ fẹ́yàn ó ti di kèfèrí ó ti jáde kúnnù Islam ó gbọ́dọ̀ tún wẹ̀ sí Islam gbogbo olórin tó lọ bẹ̀ tó lè fẹ́rí balẹ̀ àmọ́ olórin tó òun bá gbọ́n tọ́já rẹ̀ òun kan ó lè kúnlẹ̀ ní tiẹ̀ kí ọmọ fẹ́rí balẹ̀ torí wípé bọ́yọ̀ ga wọn níbi ọ̀rọ̀ òun kọ́ mọ̀ di pé yóò tún wá dìjà yìí pé wọ́n wà ń pè bí òṣì.
Don't let me take too much of that clip. First of all, I have asked one simple, fundamental, and in fact, the basic of all basic questions. Is God a Christian? Is God a Muslim? Is God a Hindu, a Shintoist, a Jew? If God doesn't assume any of these religious forms, but God is universal, I do not believe that following a particular religion's pattern is entirely the only righteous. Except you want to claim that God is a Christian and he will judge the whole world by Christian law, or that God is a Muslim and will judge the universe by Islamic rule or Sharia. But if you are a global citizen, listen, a global citizen, like you are not narrowed or confined or defined by any one religious claim or organization. You are a global person, just like God is universal. I do not think anybody can claim you. There is freedom, liberty to practice anything you so feel works for you, except if such goes against humanity. Again, except if what you are about to do or are doing is against humanity. Otherwise, you have liberty to practice anything you wish for. Let me ask you questions. Maybe because of our people in southwestern parts who may not really understand English so much, let me just blend it. Where Ọlọ́run ṣe Christian, Ọlọ́run ṣe Muslim. I admit they use pidgin. I will just try to flow well so that everybody can be carried along. You see, let me tell you, or let me even ask a question, sir. And I wish this man is on a live with me so that we can just... He said something that I agreed with though towards the end. That once the fellow is dead, whether you pray, you do fida or anything on the body, it has no meaning again, because God does not see, prayer does not change the handiworks of the person after they are gone. Whatever they did while they were alive is all that it is about them. If you like, pray to the body from today till next year, it won't change their handiwork when they were on earth. That is, I agree with that one. Whatever they did before they died is what they did. That is all that is about them. But hey, I used to say to my father, okay, before then, I have one question with this man, for this man. The practice of using and the practice of going to Mecca, the practice of throwing stones at a wall that you say you are stoning Shaitan, Abi, all those ones, how do you describe them? Is it a ritual, or is it a godly thing? Is that word truly Shaitan or a representation? Okay, that aside. Again, why do we practice religion or faith? Kí làwọn òdí tá ṣe máa ń practice faith àbí religion tá ṣe máa ń ṣe ẹ̀sìn? The reasons we do these things are basically two, as far as I know, except there are more. Number one, because we want to be right with God. We want to appear right in the sight of God, because we don't know. Most of the people doing this don't know for real what God really wants. They just want to be modest enough, be in the gathering of people who are doing something believed to be godly. Abi, la ṣe ń ṣèpéjọpọ̀. Jẹ́ kí èmi náà wà pẹ̀lú àwọn èèyàn. Àmọ́ tó lóun fẹ́ ń sìn, bóyá lóun fẹ́ ká máa gbàdúrà, ká máa pírun, kí a máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. You don't exactly know for certain what God truly wants. So everybody just wants to do what they feel should please God. They want to be right in the sight of God, or righteous. That's one. Number two is because of what we are told about afterlife. Kò sẹ́ni tó mọ̀ bóyá after we are dead, maybe there truly will be a heaven or a hell. So many people are afraid of the Christian hell, but they would love to go to the Christian paradise. The same way they are afraid of the Muslim hell, but would love to go to the Muslim Al-Jannah as described. And of course, all these people describing it have not been there. If they have been anywhere, maybe just Jerusalem, Mecca, Medina, and all those places. But heaven as described, none of these people can lay claim to have been sure that it exists or they have been there. So those are the two reasons, basically, that people practice religion. I leave that. Now, the practice Isheshe, the practices indigenous to us as Africans, the traditions indigenous to us, and the traditions indigenous to the people of Saudi or the people of Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and those places as described in the Bible, the practices indigenous to individual cultures are patterned after the respective regions. Hello? The practices of the people of Saudi is patterned after their culture. The way they do their lawani, the way they dress is their culture. It is patterned. So if you are a Muslim in Nigeria and you copy the way they dress over there, you are only copying their isheshe. You are only copying their practice, which is patterned after their own indigenous region, patterned after the practice of their region. That said, there's nothing wrong for anybody who chooses, for instance, to be a global citizen. Anybody who chooses to be a global citizen can practice any religion they so choose. I can choose to be a Christian when I'm in Rome, for reasons best known to me. I can choose to be a Muslim. I greeted somebody yesterday. We went to inspect a property on behalf of somebody. And then I saw that we waited for the person to finish praying. After the person finished praying, he came out of the mosque. And then I greeted him. Oh, Shani Barawa Sultan Dwedea, Ekason sir. Assalamu alaikum. And he looked at me and said, Shemusulumini. I said, I am a universal person. I'm a global person. So I try as much as possible to learn. If I'm with a French person, I'll greet you bonjour. Because I know I want to establish that familiarity first of all, before we get onto the transaction that brought me. Do you understand? I want to establish, so I understand you are from that region that speaks French language. So the little idea I have about the French language, I will use it to establish personal relationship first of all, before I then go on to the transaction that brought me. Oh, bonjour, bonjour, monsieur. So you greet me back, but by the time I get to the point, I can no longer answer. Thank you so much. So we are here for, I've been able to bring your candor. I've been able to get your audience. I've been able to get your attention in a manner that is friendly. There are some cultures, when you get to their house, they first present kola nut. If you break the kola nut and hit, no matter how small or little, it shows sign that I am here for peace. And then the person will give you the kind of attention you will get will not be the same attention as if he suspects that you came with a threat or as a threat. So when I greet you, Assalamu alaikum, it's because I see that from your appearance, you are a Muslim. I've learned how to greet in Islam, learn how to greet in Christian, to greet a Christian fellow. For instance, I can say, Alafia Fonile, peace be unto you. Oh, you also have peace be unto. You know, like some people who go to Ayinde church, they say, Ayinde, oh, you know, we are family we are of the same Christian denomination of family. And then you receive the person well. So I want to be received well. And I can see you are a Muslim. There's nothing wrong. And I greet you. We are both Yorubas, but I'm greeting you as Assalamu alaikum. Well, choice. And I can't fault it. Okay? That goes that way. So, that said, the moment we come up and say, hey, you are of Islamic religion, what are you going to do in Ikwebi? But somebody has to do it. There are people in Saudi Arabia who are crown princes. There are people in Jerusalem who are crown princes. There are people everywhere who are custodians of their own cultures, who represent the various positions. People are in positions. If Wasiu Ayinde is qualified and he refuses to go and fill the place, who will you put there? Will you not still be the same that says, oh, why would they go and bring a stranger or somebody who is not even competent for that office? But because the position they are bringing him for has its own tradition, of course, seclusion means you have to, it's just like orientation when you do indoctrination. They indoctrinate you. They can't just put you in an office that you have not gone through its indoctrinations. Oh, this is what you represent to the moment you occupy this office. So this is the staff of office to identify you whenever you are together with fellows. This is what, if you are not so pleased with it, you leave it. The same thing applies to the Soun of Ogbomosho. The other day I saw video of traditional rulers at the redemption camp. They were even rendering special number. Traditional rulers dressed in their regalia. They are Christians, but of course they come from somewhere. They have history. They can't totally throw their history away. And I bring you somewhere. I brought up this picture for a purpose. I don't know if I told you before. My dad used to go to redemption camp every convention as many times as he is available, all the way from Ondo State. So one day he called me. Say, I'm coming to Lagos, but I want to first go to redemption camp to pray. At least to go for our convention. I don't mind if you can come to the redemption camp. Let's be there together, and then when we are through, you can then take me, and then we go together to Lagos. I then laughed. And I asked him a question. I asked if he's aware of this rod of Pastor Adeboye. He said he's aware. I said, okay, what do you think about it? He said God gave to the predecessor, who was the founder of the RCCG, that's Akindayomi. And it was Akindayomi that handed it over to him, Adeboye. That is like a staff of power or of authority. But that when it's a miracle rod, that whenever he is confused and anywhere he raises that staff, wonders happen, miracles happen, that staff. So sometimes Pastor Adeboye will bring it out and say, stretch forward your hands to this and continue to pray. You say, Father, go ahead and continue to tell God, my Father is listening. Anything you want, just keep on praying. That rod, you see. Gentlemen and ladies, he has a secret prayer room. We don't even know other things that are there, but at least we see this. Then I asked my father, I said, when last did you join or participate in the Imole festival they do in your place? He said, excuse me. God gave our ancestors what is of them, and they are of historical importance and essence to us. They encourage us to go and burn our own at home, ignore them or throw them away, and they encourage us to come and be using their own to be praying. And I told me, I'm not coming. No. If it is family house you invited me to in the village, that we have something we want to do, maybe, because I don't even believe in any of these things, but maybe, I'm just saying, for the significance of it, that petty ebi ile, okay, I may consider. But somebody brought his own, and millions of us will go and gather and be praying with his own, and we kill our own. Right too. My father just smiled, and when we later saw, he said, only point, we left it there. I don't want to affect his belief, but I've given him my own opinion, and he understands it. He knows I am a free person. I just want to be free. I don't want to be tied to anybody's rod. He understands me as a free-minded individual, so he left me. What am I saying? Every region, in fact, every family, every town, every village, every constituency has something symbolic and significant to them. If you like, go and burn it, go and be following another person's own. They will be richer for it. Saudi will be richer for it, that you take all your own resources to go and do pilgrimage there. Jerusalem will be richer for it. Israel will be richer for it. Rome, everywhere will be richer for it. Nigeria will be poorer for it. That you are throwing your own away. It's tourism. So, long and short, faith-wise, all of you, you are right to practice either as Christians or as Muslims. But it doesn't take away the fact that you are from somewhere. And those things have historical essence or ancestral essence. So I would have had issue with that Soun, that pastor who became Soun. I would have had issue personally. Okay, you are rightly entitled, and they called you from where you are. It's not like the other day, the Oba of Iwo said, where can you find Oba again who is chosen by Ifa? That, contemporarily speaking, most of the Obas you see around town today, They are politically appointed obas. He said it. And then the Olota of Ata said, sorry, me, I'm a professor based in the UK, doing well for myself. If I chose me and they made me come back to come and sit rightfully, so I am different. I don't know what you are talking about. So the two are correct. It is correct that some are politically appointed obas. It is also true that there are still few who did not even think about it, but they were called. If I'm well, and they confirm the truth, no, I have to go and answer the call of my people. It's tradition. It doesn't affect your faith. Now, that Olota of Ata, Lanlege Ekun, Abdul Kabir, if I remember the name correctly, is a Muslim, practicing Muslim. The Soun of Ogbomosho is a pastor. Will they make heaven or will they go to hell? Again, I do not think it depends on whether you are a Christian or Muslim to make heaven or hell if they exist after death. It will be a question of your personal ritual. If you pray 5 times a day as a Muslim, your personal ritual. On the day of Al-Qiyamah, if there will be, I tell you, God will not check your record in the mosque. God will not, because it's your personal ritual. God will not check your attendance in church. It's your personal ritual. What God will be checking is what He has commanded universally. Love your neighbor as yourself. He will be checking on so day, Bro Yinka, you did so and so thing, such that it affected a fellow human negatively. Why? You'll be surprised. God will not be asking you, so day, your prayer did not count up to 5. You only prayed 3 times because you were working. On so day, you didn't attend vigil because you were too tired after work. So I might not sit. No, God is not counting your attendance in church. Because even most of the churches are not genuine. So your attendance is immaterial. Attendance or otherwise is immaterial. Hey, God is God. God is not a Christian or Muslim. Because if all of them are divided, even in Christianity, there are divisions. That reminds me. Do you know that there are some churches you go, you are a worker, you do baptism in CAC. Maybe because of mobility, transfer from work or anything, you go to another place. Maybe you relocated. You can't find the same church around. So the church that is within walk distance for you, that you feel you can see, maybe it's the same church of God. Maybe you now find Redeemed Church in your new location, your new vicinity, and you start to attend. You now want to continue to render your service as a worker for the church. They now ask you where you were coming from. Have you done baptism? You say yes. They say, oh, which church? You say CAC. They say, no, we don't accept that one. You must be baptized in Redeem. Now the question is, must you be baptized in Redeem or baptized in the Holy Spirit? Is it not the same water? But you see, the discrimination is just too much. Such that we now even use foreign religions to discriminate and further divide ourselves. I don't know if I told you before the story of the lady I planned to marry when I was in NYC. When I was doing my youth service. The lady liked me. She didn't have a problem with my tribe. She knows I'm tribeless anyways. She didn't have a problem with my person, my character, my everything. But she had a problem with, I don't go to church. But I don't have a problem with she goes to church. My wife goes to church till tomorrow. I've never stopped her for once. I only told her, it's by yourself you will understand. I don't have to muzzle anything. But if you are still convinced you should be going it, but she started coming on to be telling me something, I say, okay, keep going. It's by yourself that you will understand some things. I can only give you background idea. I've been there. So the lady at my NYC then had problem with, we attended service together. They say, hold your neighbor, pray that this week the road will be accident free. But it's a mega church in Ibadan. Commissioners come there, they are not fixing the road. You are not, they are bringing big men who have pounds and dollars are bringing offering to the church. They are asking us to be holding our hands and be praying that the road should be accident free. The roads are terrible. You are not saying the right things to them to fix the roads. And you want me to be holding neighbors hand and be praying, deceiving ourselves. I didn't pray. I was just looking, but I held their hands. When it was time for offering, I only had 200 naira to give for that day. They passed the basket, and I saw that big men were in the church. Those who are even giving pounds and dollars. Ogbeni, forgive me. My offering will not even be among those that will be what will be counted and remitted, because it's just 200 naira. 50 naira in 4 places. That's what I had that day in my pocket. So I felt this is like a drop in the ocean. If you put this one now, it won't have any impact. So on our way back, she thought I didn't have money. On our way back, under the bridge at Molete, I pulled up, saw some beggars, brought the 50 naira notes, and I gave 4 of them, one piece each. Then she became angry. Say, oh, I thought you didn't have money. So you have money and you didn't give God. I said, how do you give God? And then I told her, if you take a cup of water and you give, and you go and put it in the lagoon, Third Mainland Bridge, will it have an impact? Reluctantly, she said no. I said, but if you use that cup of water to give somebody that is thirsty, will you be saving a life? Will you be making an impact at least? He said, you're right though, but that does not mean... Excuse me. I did what was right by my conscience. I gave where it will have meaning, where it would have impact, because it's little. The church is already big. It has enough already. So why should I close my eyes to those that need it and continue to be given to those who have sufficient? She became angry, and that was the end of our affair. So I'm a free person. It's okay. Thank God I never touch her. So nobody say I cheat her. So, but these are ideological reasons to either do something together with someone or not to. Ideologically, I'm guided by ideologies whenever I'm about to transact, and it has to be guided by conscience. So I follow ideology. What is right, what is not, logically speaking, you can tell. The beggar needs it. The church already has those who are giving it. It's plenty already. So why? And I've never lacked doing such. So that's me. What am I bringing out? Is that your activity, as it affects your fellow human, those are the things that count before God. Do. Doesn't matter whether you go to church, you go to mosque, you go to it's your personal ritual. As I said, the 2 reasons people mostly practice a faith or religion is either you feel I want to be spiritually protected because of the fear of the unknown, so you join a religion to be praying by their method. Or maybe, after death, I don't even know whether I will go to heaven or hell. So let me just be following one pattern. At least God will see that I worship him or I did a religion. Other than that, I don't see any other. Except for other social reasons. At least to have kola of people. So that maybe on Sunday, so that you are not depressed, resting at home. Just go and be happy. Yeah, good. So, now, this is still Pastor Adeboye's road. But I want to quickly also mention Some of you remember Asisat Oshola. Oh, how can you open your body to celebrate a goal? Apparently, this lady at this moment wasn't doing what she was doing to seduce anybody. Far from such intention. It was a moment in sports. And it's a practice in sports where you are happy, celebrating a goal just put up. It's running up and down. You think you'll be sweating. She didn't open any private parts. She only pulled up for that moment to get fresh air, to celebrate her goal, and then wore it back. Oh yeah, public glare. So what did we see that is seducing enough? He celebrated the goal. In fact, it was the Muslims who criticized the appearance and made people start zooming. Did she show anything spectacular? People didn't even pay attention at first. It was the Muslims that made people start going to look at the picture again. Did she show anything spectacular? She still kept the private. Because I don't see all this, and I said something. And I'll repeat it here again. That Asisat Oshola, for what she did, she has not heard in her faith. Because her faith is reposed in Allah, not in the self-constituted moral judges or deputy gods. No, because they are themselves going to face judgment. They are themselves going to... So they just want to take everything to the extreme. For no reason. So you just want to hack people. And I keep asking these questions. Why is it that only people perceived to be poor that you always want to do this to? How many times have you said to the governors who steal money, governors stealing money, Sharia doesn't catch them? It's only somebody who steals to eat because he's hungry. Sharia ni ka gapa ni o jale. Sharia ni age lese. But your governors are stealing, and they even give you. They will build mosques for you from the money they stole. Give you money. You make you happy. Hypocrisy ni gbogbo. Let's tell ourselves the truth. And let's drive it home. Let's tell ourselves the truth and drive it home. Why is Sharia okay? Let me take these comments now. What I pay? What you write me by? So let me start with VCM Media. The first one down there says his inferiority complex and make Nigerians and Africans to discard their indigenous religious faith. Okay. Again, he said Matthew 25:31-46 spelled out how to give God. Church or pastor aren't included. Painfully, the churchgoers don't read their Bible, but embrace it from their pastors. Okay, Bayo Itaka said, thank you, VCM Media. And then Wali Bank says, you don't know about Islam, so don't comment on what you don't know. Fortunately, I'm not commenting about Islam. I'm commenting generally about religion. Fortunately. And as I'm mentioning Islam, I'm mentioning Christianity. At least the ones that we know popularly enough in our context here in Nigeria. Is God a Christian? Is God a Muslim? Why are we judging people by religions? So Wasiu Ayinde may even make heaven before the people who believe he will not make heaven or is no longer a Muslim. Wasiu Ayinde's faith is reposed in Allah. It's not reposed in any self-constituted moral judge. Because that deputy God will also face judgment. Just like Wasiu will face his own. Yes, we teach to guide ourselves. But we don't teach to judge others or place a verdict on them. No. Because before God, what you are seeing, God may not even look at. I told the story of most of us know, but you don't think it in that direction. When Jesus was being crucified, he had 12 disciples. 12. Peter showed zealousness, just like many are showing it today now. Showed zealousness, trying to protect Jesus. Like many are fighting for God today. Trying to protect Jesus. Brought out a sword, notched somebody's ear. And Jesus said, I owe you, zealous fellow. I didn't ask you to do that. Jesus had to take the ear and put it back miraculously. Say, Alaye. Say, last, you will not call deny me. That's your spirit. But at the end, on the cross, Jesus didn't take any of the disciples with him. Guess what? Jesus took a thief only, that he was meeting for the first time on the cross, with him to heaven, if that is where they were going. He said, you realize, you know you heard, you know you are a sinner. That is what Jesus came for. And then by the time he finished, he said it is finished, because the assignment is now finished. Jesus came for genuine repentance, not condemnation. He saw it manifesting on the cross. A thief said, I know I'm guilty and I'm deserving of the punishment, but not you. You didn't do any wrong. Just said, this is what I came for. That people will know when they wrong and can genuinely repent and say, oh, I'm sorry. I know I was a thief. I was stealing from fellow humans. You understand? I was stealing from fellow humans that I should not do. Repentance. Jesus didn't ask whether he was a Christian. Jesus did not ask whether he was a Muslim. What Jesus was looking out for was that genuine reflection. Oh, as a human being, I stole from my fellow human. I should not have done it. Oh, I heard. And Jesus said, for you realizing this, you and I, we are meeting together today in my Father's house. You see? That is the assignment. It's not whether you are Christian or Muslim. It's not whether you are a disciple. It's not whether you are the one that went to collect the coin from the mouth of the fish. It's not whether you are the one that used your faith to walk on water with Jesus Christ. It's not whether you are the one that went to go and fetch the water that Jesus turned to wine during the wedding ceremony. It's not whether you are the one. It doesn't matter. All those ones are your personal rituals on earth. But what counts in the life hereafter are those. They are the central cause of morality between you and your fellow. Did you discriminate against people because they are Muslims? Did you discriminate against people because they are Christians? Did you discriminate against people because they are Igbos or because they are Hausas? Most of you people here, you discriminate like shit. Oh, forgive me, I use that word. You can discriminate. Yet you are religious. Oh, you are the faithful one. You are the one that will make heaven. They play. Oh. God doesn't count all those, my brother. If you like, live your own. The rituals they do in Saudi will not stop as crown prince in Saudi. Just because you live your own will not stop their own. I'm not saying ritual in the sense of human blood, no. Ritual means what you practice as a routine. The man shares routine. What your routine is ritual. God, the moment people hear ritual now, they think it involves slaughtering people or shedding blood. No, that's not ritual. Ritual means what you do as a practice. Whatever has become a practice is a ritual. That's I mean, go and use dictionary now. So praying 5 times is your personal ritual. Going to crusade is your personal ritual. Going for vigil or Sunday service is your personal ritual. That is not what God is looking at. If you have read your Quran and Bible very well. I've not read the Quran so because I don't even understand Arabic. But from the translation I've listened to so far, God cares only about your behavior to your fellow human, your interhuman relations. Whether you mistreated others or you treated them well. That's what God cares about. That said, alufas, sheikhs, ustazis, pastors, apostles, evangelists, reverend, bishop, all of you, let's start saying the right thing to the people. You don't also know whether you are making heaven. You can only say by faith that I will make heaven. So don't see other people because they went to oyè tó tọ́ sí wọn nílé, wọ́n lọ gba ipò yẹn. You now see they are definitely not making heaven. Sorry. It doesn't depend on you. Ìwọ náà máa rojọ́ lọ́jọ́ àkíyàmọ̀, ìwọ kọ́ ló máa dájọ́. You are not deputy God. God never appointed you any time to be his deputy. You are still human regardless. So this is not to offend anybody, it's not to abuse, it is to teach ourselves and to guide ourselves. It is to guide ourselves. It is to disabuse our minds and to remove all those indoctrinations that have kept people in bondages, psychological bondages. Let's start detooling our minds of all these things. Free yourself. God didn't ask you for all those things that they are using to imprison or cage you. God didn't ask for all of them. Man. Herbalists will make heaven if they do right by God. Herbalists will make heaven. Dada. Muslims who do right will make heaven. Christians who do right will make heaven. Shintoists will make heaven. People that are not even buried, because the method of burial, people who are not even buried, the people that they embalm, in the morgue for several days before their eventual burial will make heaven if they did, because whatever happens to your body after death doesn't matter. You are gone, you are gone. They will make heaven whether you are embalmed or not. You will make heaven if you do right. You will go to hell if you do wrong. Whether you are buried instantly or given delayed burial, you will make heaven depending on how your life is on earth. Not after death. That's true. People who are cremated are not necessarily going to hellfire because they don't know what is happening to their body again the moment they are gone. Cremation means, I think Indians have that practice. They don't waste their land by burying people, depositing corpses in the soil. No. They burn the body and they allow the flame to go into the atmosphere, and that's it. Hello. Cremating someone does not mean the person is going to hellfire. Is there even... Okay, I don't want to affect faith. Wait first. That hellfire, Satan will be there, Abi. Okay. Satan will be the king inside the hellfire. He will not burn. But he will be the one making the fire, Abi. Okay. And Satan is the first person to have offended God. And God did not forgive Satan. And we are all being punished for Satan's sin. And Satan will be they want to punish us for disobeying the God that he also disobeyed. Okay, bye-bye everybody.